Welcome to Be On It, episode 36.
Hey, Jessica, what's going on in the beehive today?
Hi, Debbie. I feel like we've recently discussed perimenopause as well as menopause, and I thought it would be fitting to discuss some natural treatments as well as hormone therapy solutions to help
hmm
alleviate symptoms.
Yeah, what did you have in mind?
I was talking to a coworker recently about perimenopause. What do you do if you can't take hormone replacement? What's out there for us?
Mm.
And besides diet and exercise and lifestyle change, she told me something called seed cycling. So I looked into it and I found an article by Dr. Jennifer Davis, who's a board certified gynecologist, and she started looking into ways that she could help herself naturally as she was going through menopause. She found information on seed cycling and then created a list on, what it is and how it helps you and what you can do to help alleviate some of those symptoms of menopause and perimenopause.
Is it basically like medicine through food?
Through seeds,
Through
specific
seeds.
seeds.
Okay.
So it was through her own journey that she discovered a concept called seed cycling, which is a dietary practice that involves consuming specific seeds during different phases of the menstrual cycle, aiming to support hormonal balance. Traditionally, it's used to regulate periods and it helps lessen PMS and enhance fertility. But for women in perimenopause and postmenopause who no longer have a regular menstrual cycle, the
hmm
practice is adapted to a consistent 28-day rotation to mimic the body's natural rhythms. What that involves is consuming specific seeds at different phases of the menstrual cycle to help regulate and balance hormones, particularly estrogen and progesterone.
hmm
The seeds used are flax, pumpkin, sesame, and sunflower, and each provide a unique nutrient that promotes or inhibits certain hormones.
Right.
This practice is notably beneficial for women experiencing perimenopause or menopause, as it can help manage symptoms such as hot flashes, night sweats, and mood swings.
Mm.
The seed cycling protocol for perimenopause and menopause, phase one. You
Mhm.
want to mimic the follicle phase, day 1 through 14. This phase aims to support gentle estrogenic activity, which can be beneficial during menopause when estrogen levels are declining. With the seeds to use 1 tablespoon each of organic raw
Mhm.
ground flax seeds and raw ground pumpkin seeds. And how
Mm.
to prepare it. It's crucial to grind the seeds fresh each day or every other day. She recommends a coffee grinder or a high speed blender.
Mhm.
She goes, it really helps break down the tougher outer shells. So you do it shell and all unsalted, will
Uh-huh.
give you the most bioavailable nutrients.
Okay.
She goes, pre-ground seeds quickly oxidize and lose their benefits if you are grinding them all at the same time. So that's why you
Oh.
want to do each day or every couple of days. You want to keep
Mhm.
them at their freshest and the most beneficial.
Okay.
And she says how to consume. You can sprinkle them on oatmeal, yogurt, salads, smoothies, whatever you want.
Uh-huh. During day one, because of decreased estrogen levels, you're going to supplement basically with this 1 tablespoon daily of the flax and then 1 tablespoon of the ground pumpkin.
Correct.
Okay.
The flax seeds are rich in phytoestrogenics, and they are going to help mimic estrogen and
Mm-hmm.
omega-3s for inflammation and mood. So
Mm-hmm.
really important. This is especially when you're first 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then pumpkin seeds, they're high in zinc, which is vital for hormone production and immune support. And this
Mm-hmm.
phase may help support mood stability, reduce hot flashes, and potentially support bone density.
Mm.
So I thought that was
Okay.
really cool.
Before you move on, what do you have you okay, so I guess you can just grind these up and put them on top of whatever food you're having, right?
Whatever food you're having, just make sure they're really grounded. Do enough for those couple of days if you can't do it every day. But it's best and it's the most beneficial if you have it as fresh as possible. You want to keep them in airtight containers so they don't go bad. And
Mhm.
she talks about that. I'll talk about that further and like how to preserve these. That's days 1 through 14. And then phase 2, you're mimicking the luteal phase, the
Mhm.
days 15 through the 28th. So that's that cycle, after your period, the days between 15 and 28.
Mhm.
And the seeds that you want to use, it's the same concept, tablespoon each of raw ground sesame seeds and raw ground sunflower seeds. You grind them up. And then similar phase as 1, you want to grind the seeds fresh daily or every few days for optimal nutrient absorption. You want to incorporate them into your diet in the same versatile ways as we did with the first phase.
Mhm.
And the key nutrients and potential benefits of sesame seeds also
Mhm.
contain the phytoestrogenic support, calcium for bone health, and zinc. And then sunflower seeds are an excellent source of vitamin E, and they may help with hot flashes. And the selenium is really important for thyroid health. All of these seeds are very helpful to the body, especially
Mhm.
when it comes to menopause or PMS if you are, younger. It's all natural things that you can do to help your body.
Yeah.
These phases may further assist with hot flashes, improve sleep quality, support detoxification pathways. She talks about important considerations for the protocol. Consistency is key. You're not
Mhm.
going to see overnight results. Make it a regular part of your diet for at least 2 to 3 months to really see the optimal
That's
impact.
the consistency part I think is gonna be
Hard for some
challenging. You're right,
people.
'cause if you don't see immediate results, a lot of people tend to just quit, you know?
Right. And it's not something that's gonna happen overnight. Things take time. It's
Right.
not like a magical pill. Some things are gonna work better for some people, and some things might not work as well, but it helps alleviate some of those symptoms.
If you're depleted in certain essential vitamins, you're not gonna notice a change overnight because you're depleted, and so whatever you take in will kind of help replace that, but then you won't get to a point where you're, consistently at a good level until, as you say, about 2 months in.
Right. You wanna also check with your doctor. You wanna make sure you don't have other deficiencies going on, because if you have low iron or vitamin D levels are low,
Yeah.
you wanna know that so that you're properly taking vitamins to help with that.
Mhm.
It's important to talk with a nutritionist if you have that through insurance, and talk with your doctor is always important. But these are some easy
This
food-based
is
things if you're not allergic to
yeah.
do. And I think storage is important. Obviously, airtight containers in a cool, dark place or even refrigerating is super
Oh.
important so those
Mhm,
don't go bad, especially
mhm,
since you're not grinding them all up in one day. You're doing it little by little, so you don't want things to go bad.
mhm,
And hydration, we always want to make sure we're ensuring adequate hydration, especially when increasing fiber intake from seeds. These are, things that are going to help you be regular. That when you're eating healthy and
mhm,
healthy omega 3s, lean meats, vegetables, less processed foods, you're going to see a difference. You're going to
mhm.
feel really good because you're feeding your body the nutrients that it needs
For optimal living. So I have
for
an idea, like,
optimal living.
I have a little Ninja blender, which has a small little canister and a bigger one. I'll just grind them up in the small canister, the seeds. For me, I think the best way that I could, because I think flax seeds have a certain taste to them that I don't
Right.
particularly like. I think a smoothie where you get your hydration and then you also get your ground seeds, and you can just stick it all in and put it into the
Exactly.
big canister and drink it down.
I think of chia pudding, oatmeal, yogurt. You're masking
Yeah,
it with like things you're not going to notice, or even on your salad. Those
that's
are
true.
all like good options. And there's lots of options. I can go buy a separate small like coffee grinder and only use it for that. So that's what I think I'm going to do because I want it really fine powder. Like I don't want to be like drinking my protein shake in the morning because that's most likely either that or chia pudding or what I'm gonna put it in. I
Mhm,
don't wanna be tasting gritty, chompy nutshells.
mhm.
So I'll let you know. I'll give you an update on, like, how that goes.
Yeah,
But
some people need, like, texture-wise, they want more consistency,
oh,
like, so
yeah.
some people don't prefer smoothies, so then your chia puddings or your yogurts are gonna work just fine. I think that if you use bananas, first of all, they're cheap, and I like the taste of them, so That would mask the taste of the flax seeds for me.
Yeah. Some other natural hormone-free approaches to perimenopause and menopause. For me personally, I grew up with a lot of herbal supplements. Herbal supplements are really important. In the past episode, we talked about vitamin D, making sure that when you live in the Northwest and there's not a lot of sunshine, vitamin D is essential. When you live in an area that's super sunny, you're getting that natural vitamin D, but it's always worth having it checked just to make sure your levels are okay. Herbal supplements like rose hips help boost immunity and promote skin health and reduce inflammation. That's a big one with menopause. You're bloated, you're inflamed, muscles hurt.
Yeah.
It helps with weight management.
How do you take it?
Rose hips, you can buy it in a capsule or you can grind it yourself.
Yeah.
It's a lot of natural things. My dad was more of a naturalist. He would get it at a specialty store that had different herbs.
Yeah.
Wherever you live in the world, there's going to be an equivalent to rose hips. If you can't find rose hips where you are, there's going to be something that does the same thing, that boosts your immunity and promotes skin health. You just have to find that natural root or whatever it may be in your area if you don't have access to rose hip.
So how did you take it though? Did you make it in?
He would put it in applesauce.
Oh, okay.
He would grind it and put it in applesauce. It wasn't ever encapsulated, but you can put it in a capsule too. And then I would also, when I wasn't feeling good or had a sore throat, my dad would give me aloe vera juice that contains polysaccharides and enzymes that really help soothe the digestive tract. And so it promotes regular bowel movements, natural fiber, as well as reducing irritation in the stomach and intestines, and helps with bloating. When we're not feeling good and we're going through perimenopause and menopause or even PMS, all that bloating so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or somebody that's on a GLP-1, they might like aloe vera juice. Really helps with the digestion. Licorice root, another thing that helps with hot flashes and night sweats. It contains flavonoids, including glabridin and glaberine, which really helps support the body's own healthy production of estrogen. So a lot of natural roots have health benefits that are helping our natural hormones. It helps with the production of estrogen. Calcium. We know that when we're in perimenopause and menopause, that we are more prone to bone loss. So calcium is a good supplement to take to help with
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And we were talking about earlier, vitamin D, another good one, supports bone health, strengthens the immune system, and improves muscle function. Magnesium glycinate helps relieve anxiety. It helps level out blood sugar levels, blood pressure, muscle and nerve function, and insomnia. I take it for sleep, and it really helps. Like, just relax my body and just promotes good sleep.
And again, like I have the tendency to to start things, and then when I don't see an immediate effect, I usually stop because I figure, oh, it's not working. There's no point in taking this. But again, the consistency.
Yeah, it's not something you can take the first day and gonna see results right away. You need to take it I had to take it for a good week to see results. It made me sleepy. I think I made the mistake of actually taking it during the day one time, and I was at work, and I started to get sleepy around 3 o'clock, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So, yeah, be careful. Take it at night. The natural muscle relaxant helps with leg cramps.
Pill though, right?
It's a big pill, but there's gummies out there too.
Okay.
I take the gummies and I take the glycinate. I do both because my problem is I get to sleep, but then I wake up. If I do both, it really helps me. If I wake up, then I quickly fall back asleep.
Okay. So you've noticed that has changed for you since
That has
being on
changed
that
for me.
supplement. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to take any sleeping pills, which doctors don't want you to be on those long term anyway. I've really noticed I'm more relaxed. I don't get anxious about things, but I think that has just been natural for me over the last year and a half as I went on this healing journey anyway. But really, I just feel more relaxed in general, and I just feel like it's really helped in that way.
I think that's just a good example of like how your physical promotion of your physical body supports your mental health and vice versa.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's specific diets you can do that involve rich foods and calcium and magnesium and vitamin D, like lean proteins and vegetables. There's a lot of things you can do to eat and help with symptoms. I think things to avoid that we need to keep in mind: processed foods, spicy foods. People might not realize that spicy foods can really give you
Uh-oh.
more symptoms.
Right.
Caffeine and alcohol, when we're going through perimenopause or menopause, that
Mhm.
can make it worse. All the processed foods not helping you, making symptoms worse.
Mhm. So it almost sounds like as you're in perimenopause or menopause or even prior to, you kind of really need to hone down and get really right with the food intake and the supplementation.
Right, you wanna eat as clean as possible. You wanna eat things that are gonna, like, not give you more symptoms.
Mhm.
You want all your vitamins. You might have to take some supplements. You wanna do things that are gonna help minimize your symptoms, but enhance your body and your health.
And you know what? You know what it makes me think of too is like sometimes we run our bodies ragged and our bodies take count. As you're in this phase or entering this phase, it's like, no, now it's time that your body needs some attention.
Right. You deserve to be kind to yourself and to feed yourself healthy, nutritious things to the best of your ability. This is just a catalyst to do your own research and see what's right for you, because
With this seed cycling, how long do people usually stay on this regimen? I wonder.
it's so easy to incorporate in your life. Just make it a daily habit.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
if you get, like, at least 2 to 3 months so you can see if it's impactful, why not do it?
Yeah.
If you make one small change, you start to notice. I know when I'm not eating right, and then all of a sudden I get in the habit of eating really healthy, I just feel good. My skin feels good. I feel more energetic. You know, when you have something, it's just sitting in your stomach and you're like, why did I eat that?
Yeah.
When you eat something healthy for you, you don't ever feel like that. You just feel good, energetic. You're getting all the nutrients. You feel good inside and out.
But I think that's if you stay on the path. Like if you're doing one meal of healthy food and then the rest are not as healthy, then you're not going to get to that optimal point in time where you feel great and can reap all the benefits, I think.
No, you really need to make a complete lifestyle change. You really, really do. And then that's really a lot to ask and hard for people, but
Mhm.
you deserve to feel good in your 40s and 50s. And as we age, we want to make sure that we're around for as long as we can be. If you're pretty miserable and sick and have all these health conditions, that's not a good quality of life. So for as long as you're here, you wanna make sure you have a good quality of life, and so eating well and, being balanced and exercise and lifestyle changes are all a part of that. Strengthening
Mhm.
your bones, because we all know it's a fact that as we age, estrogen levels drop, hormones change, there's bone density loss, there's
Mhm.
osteoporosis that can set in.
I think that these are all things that are within our grasp. They're very accessible, available at most stores, definitely supplement stores. So,
We've talked about a natural approach, but, there are also wonderful hormone therapy treatments that out
yeah,
there for people.
right. I just want to take the moment to realize that it is a gift to be a woman and to have a body that's going to work for me because I still have a lot of life in me and I want to make sure that my vessel is working for me. It's not too late to work on your health. I feel like this is a
Actually.
great time to make a change. We said before, if you have a bad day, accept it, and the next day you can get back on the horse. So hormone therapy, you know, I guess you can look at it as hormone replacement therapy, or if it's before the age of 40, or you can look at it as hormone therapy after age 50. These are, provider prescribed therapies that people in perimenopause and menopause can use to alleviate the symptoms. The hot flashes, the night sweats, the brain fog, vaginal dryness, insomnia, mood swings, all these things that we talked about in our prior episodes. So when these become problematic for you, then it is definitely worth reaching out to a provider. I think there is a group and they're available, I think, virtually, and they're called like MIDI Health, MIDI
I've
Health.
seen that. Okay,
Yes,
yeah, and they take a lot of insurances.
they take most insurances. A family member has gone through them, had a consultation and got on some hormone replacement therapy. And it's working.
Oh, good. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people take estrogen patches, there's pills and
Yes,
there's
exactly.
there's creams for vaginal dryness. You just have to talk to your doctor about it.
I think the key is customization, which is what
Oh,
your
for sure.
provider will help you to determine, like whether the benefits versus the risks, or whether you're even a candidate for this kind of therapy. It's medication basically through hormones. Sometimes it's just estrogen, and sometimes it's a combo of progesterone and estrogen, which they call EPT, estrogen progesterone therapy. The ways that it can be delivered are a patch, pills, a gel. There could be a vaginal ring, a cream, um, tablets that you like, almost like vaginal like suppositories, like tablets that you put inside your vagina, and then also sprays.
Yeah.
The pharmaceutical companies have jumped on this bandwagon, and so there are different ways to get it. And I was also wondering about how long has this been around. Well, it's been around for a while. Started back in the 40s, 50s, and then it was kind of like a bell curve where it kind of started in the 40s and 50s. It was becoming available, and then it boomed in the 60s. It peaked in the 90s, and then it kind of came down again because of certain risk factors, cancer and cardiovascular disease. Right now, it is definitely available, and it's more people are aware of it. So again, this is a conversation that you're going to have with your provider. And hormone therapy can be either systemic or it can be local, like systemic, where it kind of gets into your bloodstream and it affects different areas of your body, and local more like, for instance, if you're having the vaginal dryness, then and that's your biggest complaint, then you would treat that symptom, and that would be more local therapy. Just things to keep in mind, that because I have a family member who is on a patch. I think she's on a estrogen progesterone patch. It's working, and she had to work with her provider. Okay, they prescribed this amount. Well, she dialed back a little, and even a little more. She's at a place where she's taking the right amount for the symptoms. She took it for the brain fog and the insomnia and the hot flashes. It's helped quite a bit.
Good.
Yeah. So I was surprised. I was like, well, wonderful. Inflammation is another thing that is problematic for women in these stages. The things that we talked about, things that will help to reduce inflammation, are going to probably be things that you're going to talk about with your provider. It's possible your provider might not think about all these natural things. There are naturopathic providers too. And there's a lot of information online as well, because this has been an ongoing issue for women for quite a long time. And then again, consistency, if you're going to go ahead and try these things, right? I mean, and there are risks to hormonal therapy, hormone replacement therapy, like risk of cancer, cardiovascular disease, clot strokes as well, gallbladder disease. I don't think when you're trying things, you're always going to be aware of the risks.
Exactly. I think we're just educating. You can do your own research and the health conditions that you have and what will and won't work. And I think it's just, discussing with your doctor and
Mm-hmm.
doing your own research to kind of help you to alleviate some of those symptoms, because you don't have to be inflamed, feeling miserable, having hot flashes. That's, you can get through this and ask for help. And there's a lot of natural things you can do if you can't do hormone replacement that will help with some of those symptoms.
And I think like the main thing that I think or have realized is it's like customization. You are you. There's nobody like you. Nobody has the same fingerprint as you in this entire world. So if you can tailor the treatment, whether they be prescribed or whether they be more on the natural side through food or supplementation, you want to make sure that it's tailored to you and the symptoms that you're having. I also want to say that like sometimes like if you're going to try something, maybe try that, not just a bunch of things at the same time. That way you figure out, okay, what are the results of that particular change?
Right. Make a note of it, journal it. You can start off by changing what you eat. You can add some supplements. Maybe you add one supplement at a time to see how that affects you. I think that's the take home here is making sure that you are consistent and talking with your
Mhm.
we talked about all these different things and now we've got some treatments and to help with some of those symptoms. I hope that brings some relief to everybody that might be going through this.
And knowing is half the battle.
Educating yourself and knowing is half the battle.
Mm-hmm.
If you like what we're all about, join us next time.
Join us next time. Bye.
Bye.
Just so you know, we are speaking from our lived experiences and are not licensed therapists. We are all about community. Join our community by following and subscribing to Be On It through YouTube, Instagram, and of course your podcasting platform so we can continue to bring Be On It to you.